question. What's the answer to that question? What's the answer to that question, everybody?
You're always ready, Fred.
No, Freddie is always ready, right, Christoph? Except we're not ready for this crazy deal this poor young lady's got. She's going to talk about that this morning. Anything from Amber on your end?
Not yet.
Oh, I was like, me.
But that's we're going to talk about that this morning, Chris. If you sent your own, I'm really glad you're on because
I'll be dropping in 15. I got to talk to Ann Shaheen, but I'll come back on after.
Okay. When you come on, shout out because I want to talk about that because we're in a market where a lot of things are starting to take place. Everyone say hello to Annabelle, my able, wonderful, fantastic assistant I've had for about 4.5 years now. She doesn't like, look at that beautiful smile. She doesn't like to come on camera, on Zoom. She said, don't make me go on, please. I said, nope, that's it. It's time for your growth here. Anyway, but yeah, so, the market is changing and you're going to have more and more falters. You're going to have more and more crazy things going on. So I'm so glad you're here. And I'm still got to figure out scientifically and psychologically why we have such a tough time getting everybody here. Yeah, even within 5 minutes, watch, it'll be up to 35, 40 in about 15 minutes. But anyway, that aside is that for those of you on, is that this is the market that really will force you into the inside, right? Because and force you to quit if you're not careful, if you don't get that mindset straight, that will set straight, because it's getting challenging in a number of aspects, even the commercial. Now, some of you aren't feeling that because you're in a market that is not quite affected. But I'm really getting a lot more calls. I can't believe what happened. Poor Krista. Krista, are you on this morning? Krista Kohler. She had $10 million worth of fall throughs. I mean, stuff that was in the hopper and done, not prospects. So, and it's tough, right? It's really tough when you work so hard, but you got to be prepared for that, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, because that's part of it. Because you have the 4 seasons, right? You have the spring, the summer, the fall, the winter, and right now we're in winter a little bit, the industry. So be prepared for that. Now, the opposite of that coin is that there's a lot of properties that the agents that could make a mistake on listings and throw it on the list in MLS and it would sell automatically anyway, they're going to be gone. And the ones that are expiring, the amount of expireds, I don't know, hopefully every one of you are studying your market every morning. As I say, we're in the information business. I hope that you're studying your market every morning. Look at your MLS, do a hot sheet, what's new on the market. The reason you want to always look at that is because it just encourages you that, the real estate market is still active, because a lot of times in your head, it's not. And then you want to look at the solds, you're going, oh, wow, people are still selling. So it encourages you, hey, I'm in a business that's working, because a lot of times we feel like, oh, the business is dead. Well, it's only dead in your head, right? I like that, dead in your head. I don't know if I've used that before. Dead in your head, right? So, did you like that? Dead in your head, anybody? That's pretty good stuff. So just like a relationship, it dies first in your head, right? Everything's dead in your head. I'm like that a lot. Okay. Write that down, Annabelle. She goes, oh no, here he goes, another tangent. But anyway, you got to really be on guard. You got to be on guard, because the calls that I'm getting now from my team and stuff, and you can't be easy on yourself. You can't allow to be sucked into these things. But $10 million worth of fall throughs. And, some of you might be saying, well, yeah, but Krista can handle it. She does so well. But no, I mean, it's the same emotionally, psychologically, and physically, and everything else, and all the amount of energy, time, and stuff you put into that. But there's the opposite side of that coin in this kind of market, where you can go out, study your MLS every day. It's important. You'll see it new. That encourages you. You'll see the solds, that really encourages you. You said people are still buying. You'll see pendings, things going pending. You'll see price reductions. And when I used to just work with a lot of new people years ago, I mean, in 6 months, they became walking and talking databases because just intuitively they learn to market, they learn products. That is so critical in this. It's critical in any market because you're an information broker. But in this kind of market, it is it's just so important. So important. Now, getting to the opposite of that coin that we're talking about, Krista, with $10 million worth of fall throughs, is that the opposite of that coin, you're going to have a lot more opportunities if you're not down because of your fall throughs and the things you're going through, because you're going to see a lot of expireds, and they expired because the agent did not. Annabelle, can you find under the Google Docs my listing kit? You know, the one that says do not change. It has that image from Zillow in it about sellers. You go in there and look at listing presentation, listing kits, you'll find it. It's the one I did for Zillow. I mean, there's a post in there about Zillow in the study. I want to show that image a second. If you don't find it, let me know. But yeah, so the opposite side of this coin is that if you can stay not pumped up, because pumped up doesn't work. You know, that's nonsense. That's like taking, you know, it washes off as soon as you wash your hands or go take a shower at night. You can't be pumped up. You got to be really in tune that you're an information broker. You study that MLS. When these things happen to you and they roll off your back, is Krista Kohler on yet? I want her to share her experience. That let them roll off your back, get back up, and then go and try to make up for them with expired listings, withdrawn. You can't do temporary off the market, but you can do cancellations and expireds. So the more you study the market, you might find a neighbor didn't sell. You may find a neighbor that didn't sell. And the only way you really get encouraged doing this stuff is, I remember as a young man, I mean, my first year, the way I did the business and I became a #1 agent out of 300 was all for sale owners and expireds. And I was a prospector. And I remember one in particular, I thought I had it in the bank, a listing. I thought they were going to list with me, and they listed, which first there was a for sale owner. They drove me crazy, but no, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually I never got any headway with them. Then I one day see it come on because I study the market every day in the morning. Oh, that address, that sounds familiar. Oh my gosh. I went back and looked at my big long file that we used, no CRMs back then. And I dug through and I went, dang, that was that. I can't believe that. What do you think I did? When I saw, after as hard as I worked trying to get the listing, they ended up listing with somebody else. And I saw it come on the market. What do you think I did? What do you think I did? First of all, how did I feel? How did I feel? Come on, this is a mastermind. How did I feel?
You felt good and you gave him a call.
I didn't feel good, Ted.
You should
I
have
didn't
felt
get my
good
call.
because you should have felt
yeah.
good because they didn't choose you,
Right.
and they didn't sell. So
That's-
if they would have chose you, it would have happened for them. So
But first, I'm talking about when I first saw it come on the market, right? I called them. You're right. I went, oh, I can't believe that. And I went, because, it's just our emotion. But then, because of my training, my good mind training that I had from so many great mentors, I said, no, just take the high road. I called him up. I said, hey, Mr. Jones, remember me? Hi, this is Fred DeFalco. Remember we spoke back 3-4 months, blah, blah, blah. And I came over, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. I said, hey, congratulations. I see you listed your home finally. I'm so glad. I'm sorry it didn't sell when you were trying to do it yourself. And I'm going to try and get to show it, but it doesn't always happen, but I will. But hey, I just want to congratulate you and I wish you the very best of luck. And I made it just a note. I call him, right? Well, because I checked the MLS every day, I then saw it as a price reduction one time. Because that's why you need to study your market every day. Remember, you're an information broker. You'll get paid a lot more money if you study your MLS every day and what's on the market, what's off the market. So just to stick with that story for a second, that's a price reduction. Then I looked at the listing out, they had the price tag. I said, I didn't do a very good job of that description, but I wasn't going to say anything. Well, guess what? One morning I wake up, I'm doing my MLS, I'm studying. Well, what's my market look like? Expired. No, canceled. I think it was a cancel. I forget. So guess what Fred does? What do you think I did? What do you think I did? Somebody.
You called him.
No, I
No?
got my car immediately.
Oh,
I went to that door. And I didn't find him home. So I put my card and I said, hey, we need to talk. Then I went back And then I called them. I said, hey, I'm sorry, I missed you. I stopped by this morning, right? And I didn't catch them. They called me back, right? Because I left a message on the answering machine back then. No voicemail, on the air answering machine. They called me back. They said, oh, Fred, yeah, we got your card. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, you know. And I said, hey, what time can I come over and do this right for you? They said, can you come by tomorrow, 7 p.m.? It's all because I did, you know, I was an information broker first, committed to information. So in this market, you're going to have fall throughs. You're going to have people disappointing you. I'm telling you, it's going to get worse, folks. Krista, are you on yet? Not yet. Okay. She may have a commitment. Usually she's on in the morning. I didn't tell her ahead of time. I was thinking about this morning when I came across a quote. So anyway, you know, you just keep studying that information. Every bad you have, try to turn it into a good, because there's so many cancellations coming on. I'm looking at the $1 million plus. Oh my gosh, the opportunities. Get your listing kit together. Get your luxury program together. If you don't have my luxury program, the luxury T, the free one I give you, you haven't taken my 59-minute masterclass yet at the RERC.com, shame on you. Shame on you. It's a free program. It's a $3,000 a year program. I'm giving it to you. Thanks to my title partner and Title Partners of Florida, and thanks to my Smart Mortgage Solutions. They enable me to do this stuff. Take the masterclass, THERERC.com. You should have that luxury program. There's a lot of cancellations taking place. There's a lot of expires taking place. So as bad as it can get, right? And poor Krista, I mean, my heart bleeds for her, $10 million worth of deals. And you may say, yeah, she sells high-end, that's only 1 or 2 deals. No, it's quite a few. So anyway, and then I had another person from commercial. They just lost a huge deal. So we're in that market, folks, but there's two sides to it. There's the yin and the yang. So stay positive, stay focused, make up for the bad. Okay. By, you know, I mean, that happens to you by going and taking on something that happened bad to another agent because they didn't do their job maybe well enough, did a good enough description and stuff. Make sense? Make sense? So let me ask you a question. I don't like to talk about bad stories, but since we're on that subject, anybody experience anything negative going on in the last week, 2 weeks, you know, 3 weeks with your business? Anybody? The website's on my banner style.
Fred?
Yeah. Gina?
Yeah, I've had.
Wait. I got to preempt when Gina comes on. Get ready, folks. Take notes. Go ahead.
No, I have had really negative things this week because I haven't had any showings to my listings, which is ridiculous.
5 times since Monday. I've heard that. What is today? Wednesday. Is Michelle Ridgway on? Michelle Ridgway? 5 times since Monday. I've heard this. There's Krista. Good. I'm gonna have her.
Fred,
What's that?
it's Lori. I'm having some showings on my listing, but unprofessional agents. They're late, they don't cancel, they don't call, they don't do the feedback. I gotta chase them. Sellers can't understand why this happens, you know, and then they get angry with me because I'm chasing them for feedback and a phone call to say they're gonna be late, you know, and they just don't show up. And they're all small agencies that are getting showings for my listing, and I don't get it. I'm promoting it, I'm boosting it, it's on Facebook, I'm advertising it, and I don't get one call for a showing. You know, I get leads to refer out, but I'm not getting anybody to show my listing to.
Laura, you're right in sync with what Gina was talking about. So Gina, go ahead, because this is what Michelle Ridgway was going through. She's saying, Fred, my sellers are really starting to, they're just dry, blah, 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 blah. So same thing. Go ahead, Gina. You go finish what you were talking about too.
Well, I know one of mine is overpriced, so that I can kind of understand what you already know. One is a couple $100,000 overpriced, but I told them I wasn't having any showings and they were fine. So whatever. But the other 2 that I have are priced correctly. And I am also getting, just like what she just said, I'm getting agents that say they'll be there and my clients get all excited and they don't show up or they don't call or anything. It's happening to everyone. And I'm up in Port St. Lucie and I'm having it also. So it's not just wherever you are, Laurie. but it is, it's a horrible thing that people are doing. I call the agents, or I email them or write them or whatever, however I can get to them. And I say, don't you think that's a little rude? I told you my client lives there. I have to tell, she leaves the house, and she's an older woman with a walker. And I said, she leaves the house and it's a whole production for her to get out of the house, and you don't show up. I said, that's doesn't even make any sense to me. Why would you do that to somebody? It's so rude. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
that's
see, I'm glad we're having this topic. And Krista, I'm so glad to see that you were on. This meeting started with your horror stories, because I had 2 or 3 more, and I'm going to come to you in a minute. Liz, did Liz disappear? She had her hand up. Liz, did you want to speak up to that?
I was just gonna say, guys, I think overall what we're seeing is such a shift in the market, depending on the areas, like you're still having multiple offers and stuff like that. But one thing right now, like I can suggest, like, guys, stop taking overpriced listings. Gina, I love you. You're my girl. So I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear,
well,
right?
Liz, just on that one, I wasn't going to take it. And I called Fred and I said, first of all, I'm embarrassed because I'm not going to sell it and I don't want to take it.
Yep.
And Fred said, take it. So talk to
Whoa.
Liz, talk to Fred. Don't talk
No,
to me.
I'm
I
just
wasn't
saying-
going to take it.
I'm just saying, right? Because the thing is, here's where I'm at with it. Like, obviously, sometimes we can have a come to Jesus moment. Like, I mean, I can't say it for all, but me personally, I'm not going to take an overpriced listing. And here's why. I'm like, you're hiring me to sell that property. And if it doesn't get sold, it looks bad on me. Like I'm incompetent and I didn't do my job. Right. So that's just me personally. However, like,
See, Fred, that's exactly what I said. See?
Fred,
I can't wait. I can't wait. This is going to be a great meeting, folks. Stay tuned. Don't leave. You come back to this, because this is going to be good. And this is going to be powerful, by the way. This is going to be one of the most powerful masterminds we had in a moment because of this conversation. Fantastic stuff. And
Well, it's true. Liz,
keep going, Liz.
that's exactly what I said.
But Liz, keep going.
So I'm so sorry. Go sit down, papi. Mommy's on the phone. Sorry, guys. So I mean, that's just how I feel. Like I'm not gonna take an overpriced listing, especially right now, because depending on where it's priced at, if you price it slightly below market, you're gonna get multiple offers. I mean, multiple showings and things like that, because people are gonna say, oh my God, I'm getting a deal, where psychologically they can move up. So that's my strategy right now. When I go into an area, like right now, you guys know I'm in freaking Davenport in Haines City, where I'm in nothing but new construction. So when I'm going through and I'm taking a listing, I'm telling them, like, look, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. The house is beautiful, first and foremost. However, secondly, we are competing with builders who are offering $13,000 and $15,000 for closing costs, plus a 5.25 and a 5.75 interest rate. So we are in direct competition with these builders, where someone is going to have to do a resale right now and get it at market value. So we need to price it correctly if you want to get it sold. And also, I will tell you this, the shit's not going to sell in a month, in a weekend. It's going to take 30, 60 days, because the average days on market for resale right now is 80 days in my neighborhood. So if you're setting up the proper expectation with your clients and giving them the good, the bad, and the ugly, they may not like it, but they will respect it. And if they don't like it, on to the freaking next.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Fantastic. Fantastic. How many of you want to give her a hand, a round of applause? Okay, good. All right. Now I'm going to bring something else in there though, Liz. Gina. So Gina just tried to throw me on the bus, but I'm crawling out. Watch this.
Go ahead. Let's see this one.
No, that's funny. Anyway, listen, one of the things is that, and Liz, you're right on. One of the things I want you to really plant in your brain, you cannot tell anyone anything. You have to show them. And Liz, I know you well enough. You're showing them. You're showing them stats, you're showing them statistics, and you're showing them this, and you're showing them that. Okay, so let's stick with this. Why did I tell Gina to take that listing? I don't want anybody to take an overpriced listing without getting extra time, number one, and also showing them that, hey, listen, you're the boss, and you're showing them that I'm here to serve you, but I want you to know that I'm not the boss and you're not the boss. The marketplace is. So let's agree that we'll sit down in 2 weeks. If you look at these statistics and you got to show them. And here's what I did to Michelle. Okay, let me just open this board up because I did this before for you. Can you see the board? Can you see the board? Just someone say yes. Can you see the whiteboard? that
It's
I'm showing?
loading. Yeah, now we can see it.
You can see it now?
I can't see it.
You can't see it? I wonder why.
Oh.
Okay, let me just
I
see.
see it.
Who sees it? How many people don't see it?
I see it, Fred.
I
Everyone-
see it.
It's important.
All
Everyone
right,
see it?
I only see you, Fred, so I don't know what's going on with mine. I'm changing it.
You have more than one screen probably, right?
I have more than one screen, yes.
Anyway, so just follow me out. I have a dot on the screen. Well,
I
did
got
this-
it. Okay.
I did this back in October. Oh my gosh, October 22 last year as I did this. When you take a listing, this is you at the listing, right? Okay, this is you at the listing. Within 1 hour, by the time you leave, it could be 2 hours, it could be 3 hours, it could be 4 hours, but it definitely is not going to be beyond 12 hours. That seller is going to make a decision based upon what you showed them, not told them, like Liz was just talking about. I don't care. And if you take the overpriced listing, Gina, as long as you showed them why you're taking it, is that you want to try for them, you want to serve them, you want to show them all that you've done for other people. And then you show them the statistics that we're trying to beat the marketplace, but you're going to take that chance. But Mr. Seller, let's sit down and you set a date right in your calendar. We're going to come back in 10 days and we're going to review all the marketing got released, the response that the marketplace gives us, because in that decision here, I always tell agents, you have to talk to the seller 2-3 times within the first 12 hours. When you're driving away, you send them a text, you pull over. Hey, 10 minutes later. Okay. You don't make it sound too like you're doing it intentionally, but you just say, hey, I just was thinking about you. I want to thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to get to work on this right now. I'm heading back to my office. I've got to get the marketing going. I'm going to get that. Thank you so much. Boom. Then you find another reason to text them. An hour and a half, 2 hours later, go throw it on social media. Hey, I've got a listing coming soon in this area. Hey, I just want to let you know I entered this social media already. I already got 4 or 5 likes and blah, 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 so on and so forth. Because in that 12 hours, you're going to make a decision whether you're a person they can trust. Once they make that decision, you can make them do anything you want to do almost. If you show them, not tell them. If you show them graphs, give you an example. Let me stop share for a second. Does this make sense? Because you can't do any wrong either. And the house is not showing. The other thing you want to stay away from is accompanying on showings. Michelle Ridgway and I had this conversation the other day. And how do you get out of that? You say to them, Mr. and Mr. Seller, I know how you feel and what you think, but let me tell you what people find is that agents don't want anyone else there when they're showing a house. They want to hear from their customers, number one. Number two, they feel like somebody's in the way. The buyers don't feel comfortable. It is not good for your marketing for me to be here. It's better to give them the freedom to come and look at it. It'd be like if you've gone out and bought products, Mr. Seller, you buy a car and a salesman's hovering over you, or you don't feel the environment. You let them stand back and let them look. You got to try to talk yourself out as much as possible that you don't have to ever accompany, because that hurts them, doesn't help them. And how many of you feel the same way when you go up to show up a listing? The other thing it does, it cuts back on showings. I guarantee you, every one of you that are productive, when you're setting up showings, you have a lot of choices. Got to have 24-hour notice. You got to call the listing agent. Listing agent wants a couple. How many of you swipe by those? I have. When I used to be very active, selling $35 million a year with real estate, I couldn't be bothered. And you've got to show your seller that and how that works. When you have a buyer come in, you're going to run these listings, you're going to look down, and the first thing you're going to look at is if it fits them. And if you have 8 of them to show, you can't show them that many. You're going to eliminate it down to 6. And out of those 6, if you got 2 of them that are, you got to go through all these jumps and hoops and they got to meet you there, you'll go to the next one. You say you're going to lose showings, not gain showings that way. That's the other thing you got to tell them. The other thing you've got to show people and tell them. And by the way, you might get in trouble when I tell you this, but download a dating app, okay? And even if you're married, download a dating app and say, look, Mr. Seller, real estate's just like this dating app. I don't use this, by the way. I use it for illustrations. Well, here's what people do: swipe left, swipe left, swipe left, swipe left. It's the process of elimination. So when an agent shows I have showing time, which is a system in our MLS that asks them for feedback, I send them an email, I call them, I text them. How many people you think call me back or text me? Mr. Seller, it's about 5%. Our industry is all about, it's all about process of elimination. So that's why it's Mr. Important Seller, the one that's overpriced. We're trying to go against the market. You're asking me to accompany. You're really setting this up where you're going to hurt yourself, not help you. But I'm willing to try it for 2 weeks, and at the end of 2 weeks, we'll make a decision whether we should adjust, because you're in the Gina's category. She was $1 million over, 1,050,000 or 1,000,001. Gina, 1,000,001.
It's 1 million.
Yeah, 1 million. So I said the number one thing in 10 days, you want to get it down below that million, because that's a total different category. So again, I agree. Now, if that seller says, I don't care, no, you got a company and not, then you definitely walk away. But if you have control and you can show them, let me give you an example, Gina. I'm going to come to you in a minute because this is important. I don't want to forget. So Michelle says, well, Fred, I've told them that. And I said, Michelle, I said, what you've got to do, and she's already got herself in this situation where she has to show and all that kind of stuff. So, well, watch this. I said, look, let's go to Google. I said, let's type in there overpriced, and the agent's been around for a while. You already use it, overpriced listings, listing graphs, and then we typed it in a few other, and there's tons of these, right? I said, print out the best ones. Here's a look, EXP one showed up, right? And show them what happens in the importance of an intelligent price, and here's what's happening, Mr. Seller. We're going against the market. We're going against the market. So every time you have a seller, the number one thing, here's another good one. The number one thing you want to do is right from day one, contact them 2-3 times, set that up where in their head, they made the decision, they made the right choice. That's number one, because then you can't do any wrong and they'll listen to you, but you got to have some influence. So when you go to take that listing, Gina, if you set it up and you show them all these stats on, they still want to do it and you still want to do it, but if they go, hell no, I don't care, damn it, anyway, that's when you do need to make the business decision. They're not going to be pleasant to work with, and you don't need that, right? But as long as you can show them, not just tell them. Does that make a little sense? But Gina, go ahead. Let's interact on that.
All right. Well, yes, that makes sense. But I feel like these people are definitely different, because I wrote to them yesterday and I said, I'm having 0 showings. I just want you to know that when something has 0 showings, it's clearly overpriced. All my listings that I priced correctly have showings and yours does not. So I feel like it's neat. And they wrote me back and they said, we're fine, just keep it at that price. I said, all right, whatever. So I'm not changing it.
Okay, no,
But
slow down, because that's
did-
important. Slow down, because that's
Right.
important conversation. Let's everyone get what she said. One more time. You wrote them an email?
I wrote them a text and
A text, okay,
I told, they're in California. And I
okay.
told them that it's very important that you understand that if something gets no showings, then it's clearly overpriced. I've had one showing, oddly enough, it was an agent for himself.
No, don't add to that. I want to know what you said.
Okay.
You text them
I
in
text them.
California. You said you need to understand. Tell me,
Right.
read the text to us. Read the text to us.
All right.
This is
Also,
really good, folks. By the way, pay attention here. I want you to pick this up. This is so critical. So critical.
I said, they also said that they put it on like Airbnb, which I said to them, hope all is well. Have you had any renters yet?
Wait. Time out. Hold on a second. Read the first text you sent them regarding the house.
This is.
Got it. Go.
I was wondering because I wanted to know how serious Danny was on selling this house. We can keep it priced high and wait, or we can lower it under $1 million and see if we can get some action. Usually when something is priced too high and you don't get any showings, this house, it proves on the market that it is overpriced. My pictures and advertising by now would have warranted multiple showings. if priced correctly. The market is very slow right now. Nothing is running off the market like it was, but I wanted to get a feeling of what he was actually thinking in regards to us sitting and waiting, or to be more aggressive and lower the price just because that will get it sold. Make a profit over what you already paid and move forward. Either way is cool with me. I will continue to market it as I am right now. Just wanted to know your thoughts. Have a great day. Her comment back to me was, no hurry, we're good for now, thanks. That's it. Didn't care.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Gina?
That's
Gina,
funny.
now I can only do this with Gina. I wouldn't do this to anybody else. That email, that text stinks. It is
Well, I
the
didn't want to
worst.
tell him.
It is the worst sale. It is one of the worst sales in marketing text message that's going to go down into the history books, my history book. Now watch. I would never say that to anybody
No,
else.
you're wrong. You're wrong because you don't know these people. The
Now
people
watch,
will say
watch.
to me, I don't care, then take it off the market.
No, Gina.
That
Here-
they
here-
already told me.
Gina, here's what business are you in?
I
Information business, right? So
am
here's
not
the way that
losing my listings
here-
because
here's-
I said
watch.
something wrong.
I want to give you some creativity. Number one, way too much. Number two, never a text. Number three, you don't use the word I think, I feel, maybe. What was he thinking? Let me ask you a question. How many of you women on here just love when your husband or your significant other, anybody in a relationship says, you know, your belly's getting kind of big. You know, they look awful tight in those pants. Any of you like to be told you're fat? Anybody? Any women on here? Anybody? You know, anyone else that you like to say, hey, you're looking really rough lately, from your spouse or someone who's supposed to really care for you? Anybody? Who likes that stuff? Nobody. Who likes to hear a seller saying your listing's overpriced? It's like saying, hey, you're fat. They're not overpriced. They're doing something harm to themselves. So here's the way the text is. You got to learn language, folks. You got to just go to YouTube or go to AI and say, how can I use strong language with a seller that's overpriced, whatever. But here's the way the text is written. Hey, it's really serious. We need to talk. I'm very concerned for you and what you are doing to yourself financially. Now,
But see, that's the thing. You don't know these people. The people specifically said to me,
I know
I'm
human
gonna-
nature. I know human nature. I
yes,
know
but these are different people.
I'm
They
talking
don't
about women.
text-
Gina,
Yes,
don't.
but you don't.
Gina, you're being defensive right
Yeah,
now. I
yeah.
love you to death. You're being very defensive,
Yeah.
and I think we just need to take a minute. Just let's get through the
Absorb.
conversation.
Absorb.
Go
Gina,
ahead.
I've done this in $50 million deals. Okay. It's the same in a $50,000 house. They're human beings. So if I say blah, 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 it's too much. But if I say, hey, it's really serious. We need to talk. I'm really concerned about what you're doing to yourself. Period. End of story. But you talk, you collaborate. That problem with text messages. How many of you have been in trouble in your family in text messages? How many of you have had text messages misinterpreted? How many of you had text messages used against you? All of us. You got to be careful, folks, with this text stuff. You got to communicate and say, not only communicate, just say, we got to jump on a Zoom. I'm going to show you this graph. Here's what's happening now. And then if you don't have power with someone, now you step up, you step your creativity up. How can you step up creativity if you're out of power with a seller? Somebody answer that. How can you step your creativity up? Somebody. Anybody?
Me personally, I think information should be delivered via phone,
Yeah.
just so that they can
Well,
kind of
let's say you're
gauge
out of power
your
though. Like Gina's saying, I could see she's frustrated with the seller. Let's say when you're out of power, like Gina is with these people, they're not respecting her power. She has no power with them. That's obvious. What is another creative way you can get some power?
I mean, I would bring somebody else in, me personally.
Creativity. What you do. So Gina, here's what I want you to say. And even when you go to take it over price list and say, hey, I have some liberty in doing that in my position in the company. But one of the things I get my ass handed to me when I am too far out. I want to do it for you, the seller, because I really like the house. I love you. I agree with you, but I don't think the marketplace is going to. And you don't realize that our marketing department, especially because I'm getting you in, you have them in the international luxury program, Gina?
Liz, I love you, but the people said, do not call me on the telephone. Do not ever Zoom me. I don't use the computer. I had to go over
Okay, that's okay.
papers. to
Yeah,
sign.
but Gina, here's the thing then. Here's what you do is you turn it over to me then. Because here's where
No,
I'm
they
going.
don't
with it.
want that.
No,
They don't, they
then
are,
fire
these
them. Then
people are
fire.
different.
Okay, it's done. That one's fired. You fire them. And I'm going to pick the listing up and I'm going to sell it. And I'm going to show you how. Because I'm going to say, hey, listen, the marketing department, I'm just trying to give you, did you use the Lux VP program for them?
Fred, the house is $300,000 overpriced.
Yeah, Gina, you're being defensive like Liz said. Stop it. Did you use the Lux VT program that doesn't cost you anything unless the house sells?
I didn't have to. I went over there. I told him my spiel.
All right, there
I
you
said,
go.
I'm
See,
only
this
taking
is
it
bad.
as a,
This
I
is
took
bad
it as a
practice.
6% listing. And
Real
they were like,
estate,
okay.
Gina, real estate
Can I
malpractice.
just make a
I'm calling
comment
your
real,
stuff.
real quick? Gina, just me personally, just listening in, I will say you're a little defensive, but I noticed a lot it's I instead of you using it as Fred said, as a company, because maybe they may be just as frustrated with you as you are as frustrated with them. So it might not hurt to bring in somebody else, but all of it was my, I.
Number one, guys, listen, Gina has the Lux VT program that you all are entitled to because of my sponsors at the Real Estate Resource Center. It's called Lux VT. The package I give you, that it's about $250 a month if you bought your own portal. Okay, because you don't have to pay for anything until the house sells. If it doesn't sell, you don't pay. Take the 59-minute masterclass at the RERC and you'll get that luxury program. You ought to see it. It's a beautiful package. She could have put that in there. And I told her to, and I said, take that listing, take that over. And here she didn't listen. Gina, come on now. We're making you next year, you're an icon agent. So here's the deal.
The listing, when I
They have no
called you.
value. You have no value. You brought no value except, and you told them they were fat. You told them they were fat.
Well, they are, but
All right.
that's not the
Okay,
point.
fire them. Fire them. If
Yeah,
you were talking about your husband right now, I'd tell you to divorce him.
No, he's very skinny. But
Don't you love her? Hey, how many of you love Gina? Hey, do a reaction with a heart. How many of you love Gina? I do. I just love. Oh, wait, Gina, hold a
No.
second. This is for you. Gina, this is for you. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I need those.
All right, listen, Gina. Listen, I'm calling your bullshit. Listen, one, you didn't listen to me. You went on public and you said, Fred told me to take the listing. I told you to use the Lux VT program. You didn't use it. You have
I
no
didn't need it.
value.
I already had the listing. I had it when
That's
I called
not
you.
good marketing.
Hey, Gina,
You're
can I talk about the Lux VT program?
Yeah.
Gina?
I already talked to the people. I know it well. I like it a lot.
I know, but it doesn't matter if you have the listing or not. It's part of your branding. This is what you need to understand. You know, you need to, everything that's over 500 or 750, whatever your threshold is, should have the same branding consistently because you want to increase your price points, right? That's the whole idea of now getting $1 million listings.
All right.
So if you don't use it for one listing and you use it for the next listing, you're not consistent with your branding. This is free. And it's part, you know, you're now making money. It's part of your expense account. If you sell it, that's your goal. That's amazing. And then you pay $7.95 for the whole branding that you now get. You have luxury brochures, you have the luxury logo.
It's $1,000.
It's not 1,000, Gina. Gina, it's only
I
money.
just talked to Janelle.
No, Gina, only if the property sells.
Right.
It's
Well, you're going to give the listing up. You're going to get fired
Expenses.
anyway.
No, it's
So,
All right, time
so
out, time
out.
I use
Time
it
out,
for all
folks.
of my listings. I use it for all of my listings, and it's really, you know, and you can go back and show your client where it's been advertised. And that's just another part of you saying, you know, it's been advertised in all these international publications, you know, everywhere else. You can download your weekly report, and it will show, listen, we're being seen, but we're not getting any offers for showings.
Yeah.
It's just another level, another layer.
Hey, Krista, for time's sake, thank you so much. Number one, Krista, you know how sometimes you'll hear, we're taking this outside. Gina and I are taking this outside. We're not doing.
Okay.
Step
Gotcha.
outside, Gina.
Fred, can I just
absolutely
add one-
because I am going to kick your ass for this one because I told you I do not want that. The people don't give a crap. They don't even care if it sells. And I'm not going to go through all that effort. I got a 6% listing.
All right,
with
listen to me.
$499
I'm going to help you.
transaction
I'm going
fee.
to help you. Here's the text you're sending right now saying, oh my gosh, I got my ass handed to me today in a public meeting. I am so embarrassed and I'm in trouble. I want you to
They
text
don't
them that.
care. They don't care.
But
They
do
said
me,
they'll sit-
stop. Just listen. You're going to give it up anyway. Just text them that, say that, and say, my VP is, you know, I'm in trouble. He's going to be calling you. His name's Fred DeFalco. Let me handle it for you, and I'll get it sold for you. Okay? With zero fee. Zero
You
fee.
don't-
All right,
I
enough
understand.
time. That's it.
Let's
No, no,
not talk
no,
about
no,
it
no.
anymore.
Your head's not here. Your head's not here. You need a checkup from the neck up. You need
Fred.
a checkup from the neck up. Stop.
Fred,
That's enough.
it's Lori. Can I just add one
Yeah, because I got to move on, Lori. but
quote,
go ahead.
one quote that I've always held in my head in real estate over the last 40 years is, you can't lose something you never had.
Oh
My God.
Oh, put that in the chat.
Yeah, okay. And Gina, you know, I feel for you, but you know, you're just not getting that quote. You have to know no listing is worth anything unless you can, it sells, it's priced right, you know, and you can't lose something you didn't have. So like paying
I
that
agree.
money for the luxury listing, and you know, I don't care if I have to pay a 50-60% referral. It's something of something I would have never had, you know.
The
So
guy's house it's a 400. He bought it for 470 2 years ago. He did absolutely no work to it. It doesn't have hurricane windows.
Enough, Gina. You keep telling me the
that's
glass
not
is
the
half
point.
empty.
That's
Stop.
not the
No,
point.
Lori, stop. Everyone stop. Gina, the glass is half empty. So listen to me. Look at this post I put up this morning. You are here to create peace from chaos, joy from pain, love from nothing. You've got this opportunity and you're refusing it. This is not about the listing anymore. This is about you being beautiful, bountiful, and blissful. That's who you really are. And you've given up your power on this deal, and you're giving up your power on this call. Stop it. You are here to create peace from chaos, joy from pain, and love from nothing. We're moving on. Let's go. All right, let's go to the Luxury and Wealth Group. Jacopo, are you on? I saw you earlier. Where are you, my friend? Oh, he may had to run. Anyway, folks, the Italian tour is all set up. Come to the Luxury and Wealth Group. Annabelle, please put in the chat, the Luxury and Wealth Group. If you want to go to Italy at the end of September for the $1, by the way, just look at this exclusive. This is the reason Jacopo and I created the Luxury and Wealth Group, to do this international marketing. And we met an agent who has this exclusive in Dubai. Great opportunity, 4%. This is just, if no other reason, this is a reason to send out to anybody that's wealthy and say, hey, by the way, I have this opportunity in Dubai. I know you're an investor, Chris Dove, maybe your guy that's buying the Dollar General stores might have a little interest, but 4%, okay, connect with this guy, okay? Just a co-broke. Jacopo and I are giving on the site, but here's the, where's our post, Annabelle? It should be pinned up here on the trip. Don't be left out. Here it is. I did pin it. My bad. Don't be left out. Everyone, are you coming to Italy with us in September? $1 house tour. Look at the details here. We got to know by the end of the month, okay? Because otherwise it's limited to 30 people. We just have about 3 people now. We only have 10%. This is going to be exciting. Coming up. And, you know, I was, take a look at this, okay? Luxury and Wealth Group, okay? Secondly, the mind body. Where's Karen? Where's my buddy Karen? Where are you? My only 40-day soft challenge participant. Where did she go? Does she have to take the call? Oh, there she is. Yay! Here, this is for Karen. Hey, Karen, speak up. Karen is the one, some of you may have started, just didn't tell me, but we did the 40-day soft challenge. It started on Saturday, and it's 7 minutes. You're taking 7 minutes a day, and you're committing it to your body purposefully, because you want your mind and your soul to rule your body, not your body to rule. So I said, any of my unfit partners, if you're 10 to 15 pounds or more off of your ideal weight, this is ideal for you. It's only 7 minutes a day, and you watch in 40 days, the transformation to your body. You will be shocked. You will be shocked. I have a resource in here of 5-minute workouts. My most favorite is Dr. Zach Bush. It's called the nitric oxide dump, which is only a 4-minute workout. You do this, folks, for 40 days. You watch what happens to your mind and body. Okay. So Karen, thank you for participating. Tell us, a little bit, what you're experiencing, like when you, oh my gosh, I didn't get it in today, but she's out in the garage doing it. Talk to us a little bit about it.
I know I'm not a morning person. So I do a lot of my workouts in the evening. So posting my videos at 10 o'clock at night when everyone else is still sleeping. One of the things I still have to work on is getting my 8 hours sleep. I know that's so important to health, and
we're meeting today, right?
I need to get that done, but I need to get a few more hours in the day. But thanks, Fred, for starting this challenge. I love a challenge, even at my age, and I will always exceed my expectations. That's just my motto. I want to exceed what I promise myself I'll do.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and you know what? We're meeting today, right? I think it's later today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
I saw
So
you.
I did this challenge. I don't consider myself unfit anymore, but I did go on a European vacation and gained 10 pounds of, I'm not supposed to say that. I added an opportunity to lose more weight. I don't know how to say it.
What she said, no, what she's saying, I said, listen, the ego does not like losing anything. So you can't say I need to lose weight. I need to gain health. And so when you gain weight, like I gained 13 pounds of unhealthiness. I start to tell a story behind it. Well, I was in the hospital twice in the past month. That's all BS. I wasn't disciplined. Whatever. And I forgot my real value, who I really am, and that I'm here to create, peace out of chaos and love out of nothing. And so I said, man, you know what? I got to get my ass on the ball in the next 40 days. I said, I'm going to do my 40-day challenge. And wait a minute, I'm going to invite people. One of the greatest ones is my favorite is the nitric oxide dump. It's only 4 minutes a morning. And then you add 3 minutes, and then you add more. And like I've added 5,000 steps. I did, 15,000 the other day, because now I'm conscious. Hey, my mind's going to rule my body. I've allowed my body to rule my mind for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So it's time. This is what I do. I'm human too. We're all human. And so then here's some 5-minute workouts, blah, blah, blah. But it's just, even if it's a fast-paced walking for 7 minutes, but you'd want to get I get like 2 or 3 minutes cardio in. But then that motivates me. Like I took 7 steps. I live on the 5th floor, so I take the 5 flights of stairs, and I don't stop at my 5th floor. Sometimes I'll run up to the 7th, and then I'll come back down the 2 more just to add a little extra. It's just, you have to have fun, folks. That's why I call it a 40-day soft challenge. This 75-day hard BS, that's not me. I don't ever step foot in a gym. I have a little pull-up bar in my room and all, and something I could do some elastic stuff. That's about it. And I don't, most of mine is just body weight. It's moving my body. It's doing the nitric oxide dump. And I'll tell you what, I'll challenge most of you on this call to a rollerblade. I'll rollerblade 40 miles. I'll challenge you to a run. Come on. I'm going to be 70 years old in September. It works. Just 7 minutes a day, 7 minutes a day. So thank you, Karen. I really appreciate you on that. Thanks for participating. It's Mind Body Mastermind. Annabelle, put that in there. Put the Luxury Wealth Group in there. By the way, folks, this post is so true. This has to do with real estate. Krista, are you there still? We started the meeting out talking about
Chris Dove. I'm Chris. I'm here.
Oh, okay, cool. We started out, Krista, because I've had so much bad news lately, and then I brought yours up, and I said, what is it, $10 million of transactions, correct?
A total of $10 million in transactions, yes. Yeah.
And what are you feeling right now?
I'm actually fine. That's kind of like the lesson. I've been long enough in this business that, yes, is it disappointing? Of course, I'm human. I'm disappointed because I worked hard. But my clients are still there. They're all going to either sell or buy at some point. But what I'm doing is I'm filling my funnel so that I don't focus on that one person that just fell off because it wasn't the right time for them to buy or sell. So, we can't focus on those transactions. I'm just focusing on the future. And I say it because, it happens to all of us. And I have agents that do focus on the bad, and it just expands. And then you get into this mindset that you're not going to get out of it, or, the quitting mindset, or the I'm sorry for me mindset, that kind of thing. And we're all human. So fill your funnel so that these things don't affect you as much. They will
Right.
affect you, but you know, they won't affect you as much.
And Krista, one of the things we talked about before you got on is that let me go back here. Is that the thing is that you have two sides of this coin. As you're getting all this, you're talking about filling your funnel, because there's a lot of people doing such a poor job with expireds, and you and I do need to spend some time together. You going out and getting some of these higher end expires, I'm saying they're prevalent, $1 million plus expires and cancellation. So we need to talk about that. So you can make up that way as well. So, but what an attitude, right, folks? She's creating peace from chaos, joy from pain, and love from nothing. By the way, this comes from A Course in Miracles lesson yesterday. Oh no, that's okay. Let me go to the next one. But today, by the way, day is day 200. Day is day 200 in the year, by the way. So day 200, right? So make sure what was the day's lesson? Wait a minute, I have the wrong lesson here. Let me see here. Let me go home. Let me go to the lessons. Yeah, day 200. Today is day 200. There is no peace except the peace of God. And this talks about is that when we're seeking for peace in things like real estate deals or this deal or our relationship or any of that, it's not possible. The only way you find the peace of God is what Krista was just talking about. Hey, it's just the attitude. It's what's within you, because that's where God is. And we need to focus on the fact that we have that power, just like that listing we were talking about, to create peace from that chaos. But we got to be willing. We got to have the mindset. Then we have to have the will set, the attitude, right? To saying, I can do this. I bring value to the people. And you know what's really interesting about Gina? All what her energy she's talking about is coming from a heart of care. I know who this woman is. I mean, look what she's done with these turtles. She really does care about these people. She really cares. She cares about her reputation. And I get that. But if it's out of place, then it turns out to haunt you instead of hurting you, and you won't be able to create peace from that chaos, joy from that pain, and love from nothing. And that's one of the things that this business has taught me, is that it makes me a bigger and better person if I stick it out like Christy talked about. And it takes years of practice. I mean, you could tell she has how many years of practice? 22, Gina? I mean, Krista?
Me, 20. Yeah, 20.
It takes that, but when you meet her, you'll see the kind of person she became. And the real estate business had a whole lot to do with that character, because she stuck it out. And Gina's the same way. Gina has 4 years, well, actually 3 years at Real Active, right, Gina? Experience?
I'm here.
Yeah, about 3 years Real Active.
2 years active. I've been doing it for 5 years, but the last 2 years have been very productive.
Yeah, and you watch the person that she's grown to be already by putting up with some of the stuff she's putting up with right now and putting up with me. And then, oh, she didn't laugh. And putting up with me, I said she's multitasking.
Wait till you get my text after this, Fred. I've already texted Liz and Krista.
Oh, we love you. Yeah, we love you. You know what? Iron sharp. Hey, listen, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another, right? Beware of the kiss from an enemy, right? But embrace the rebuke from a friend. So how many of you love Gina? Raise your hands. Anyway, Chris Dub's there. We have a few more minutes. Chris, speak up about our tragedy with the kayak shack and that nutty situation.
It's not a tragedy. It's already played out and written in the scripts. We just got to be patient.
Whoa!
So basically,
woo, baby. Good for you. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that one's the least of my worries this week.
Yeah. Oh, you have something going on too, right?
I've got some other stuff going on, but that deal, I don't think it's dead yet. I just think that we got to figure out how to navigate her little game.
Yeah. And I'm trying personally too. And she actually started writing me. Did I send you that text on Sunday? Where I got
no.
She said, John left town he's gone. And I wrote her back, and that's why I said, hey, that's the one I wrote her the person. I got to send it to you. I sent her a real beautiful text about, I'm really going to help her personally, blah, blah, blah. But, and then she finally wrote me back, and then she didn't answer me after that.
And that's why we got that marriage settlement agreement together, so that we still have a hold of this deal.
Yep.
Our thread.
Yeah. We did a marital settlement agreement for them before we took the listing, because I wouldn't take the listing without it.
Like
but
last
anyway,
August.
yeah, wow. All right, cool. All right, folks, let's see. Annabelle, where are you? What did we forget? We got the Italian tour in. Anything else? We got the mind body. Guys, join us on that 40-day soft challenge. You can start your 40 days a day or just jump in on the 35th day with us. Okay, day 200. All right, anybody, takeaways, thoughts, afterthoughts. Be strong, folks. Sharpen those skills. Do a show, not a tell. You're about showing. You're in the information business. Keep studying your MLS every morning during this time, all the time anyway, but get better at your information. Join us on Italy. Okay, please. That would be great. We only have about 35 spots, I think we can squeeze in. And anybody else? Anything else?
Fred, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Remember the name of the program, but it was, back a few years. There was a program that MLS sold, the neighborhood something. It was like for analytics, and it had a really great program in it to show what happens when you overprice a listing.
I just showed that. Well, I just showed a bunch of.
Yeah, I know you saw the graphs, which are great, but I mean, it actually pulled the data from your local MLS and showed listings and how the price reductions and how many days on market it took.
Jessica Baskey's would be a good resource for that. I see she posts a lot, or John Whelan. Jessica Baskey does a lot of statistics.
Yeah, my girlfriend used to be the rep for that company, and I can't remember the name of it, but I don't think they have it anymore.
Crystal, are you familiar with that? Are
No.
you familiar with that? Yeah, I know what you're talking of too. Do me a favor, reach out to Jessica
I'll try to
Baskey's.
find it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Jessica Baskey's, you'll find her in the GPS directory on gpsglobalpartners.com.
Mhm.
And or John Whelan, they do a lot of statistical stuff. Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right. By the way, what did Blue Heart represent? Anybody? What does a Blue Heart represent? Friendship, loyalty, right? That's why the Blue Hearts. That's going to be my icon from now on, the Blue Hearts. Anyway, congratulations to Alan Abramson. He's not on the call. He found out yesterday because he's meeting with me regularly. He's on my team. He didn't even know he iconed. Alan Abramson. So a shout out to Alan Abramson. He iconed yesterday, and it was great. So anyway, thank you, Viviana. By the way, for the great stories, I didn't do that today, but I owe Bob $25. He hasn't paid yet. I'm surprised you haven't sent a bill collector. Krista, and who else was it from New Jersey? Annabelle, you got to, it's on me because I've got to send them, but remind me, okay? I feel bad. This Wednesday, I said, I got to get the stories in. And I thought, I didn't pay the $25. I'm just going to try and cash app you guys instead of the Amazon card. It'll be easier. All right, cool. All right, folks. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Mind Body Mastermind. If you're not a member, Annabelle, put it in the link one more time. Mind Body Mastermind. If you're not a member of the Luxury and Wealth Group, I encourage you to join that and follow Jacopo and what he's doing. This exclusive listing in Dubai is very interesting. We're looking to do more there. So follow us on Luxury and Wealth Group. His website will be released soon. Are you still on, Jacopo? I saw a little text from you there before about joining.
Yes, Fred. What's going on?
What's going on? He's always, what's going on? There's a lot going on.
I am under training in the beach, like I running like, beautiful. And I see you with these sunglasses. Yeah. You are beautiful, friend.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we're coming to Italy. Come to Italy. All
yeah,
right.
Guys, coming to Italy in September. It's a beautiful event and you will see something special, really.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. All right. Appreciate you.
Bye, guys. Bye.
All right. Okay. Hey, guys, thank you. Anybody else before the after hour?
Yeah, that information that you was reading off for 200 days, where do you get that information?
Oh, of course, here, Annabelle, can you I'll put the link in there right now for you. Let's just see. Let me double check here. I'm glad you asked. I have it on my phone. It's A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles is very interesting. Some people that have, certain, training and mindsets, it doesn't set well with them, but it's all about unlearning. It's all about, there's no such thing ever possible, Ted. of a universal doctrine. It's impossible. It creates conflict, but there is universal love, right? And everyone has the same love language, no matter, even if it's the people who that bombed at 9/11, blah, blah, blah. Love is universal, right? So it's really about love. So what you do is when you go here, whoops, I opened the wrong browser. 1 second. I'll put the link. Yes, still the wrong one. ACIM, here we go. Oh, my things keep popping out. Main page. I'll put the main page in here. And then what you do is you scroll down when you get this and you'll go to lesson each day. And when you get this on your iPhone, it's the same way. All you have to do, you click down to the daily lesson. So today is day 200. There's no peace except for the peace of God. This is powerful stuff. I've been a student for about 5 years and it has radically why did I do that? Oh boy. Let me go back. I'm sorry. Main page. I'll copy and paste this and put this in the link for you. And then we're going to turn it over to Miss Tiffany in a second. This is a complete A Course in Miracles. You can take the whole course in here, or the daily lessons are really, really deep and powerful. Okay. All right, Miss Tiffany, it is all yours.